This is Keeping It Real on 3FM at 92.7. And you know who runs the world? We run the world. As always, it's an entire hour dedicated to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. My name is Helen, and as usual, I'll be co-piloting with some beautiful ladies. Let me say good evening and a very warm welcome to Miss Judy. This co-pilot you're very, very, very familiar with. Hey, girl, hey.
Hi.
What's going on? Why are you wearing ducks?
I learned it from you.
No, you were wearing your shades first, and I thought, well, I too want to get into the shades, whatever it is that is going on, and that is why I have my ducks on.
Oh,
You're just feeling cool today?
I think so.
Yeah, me, I'm wearing my shades because I've seen enough. Yeah, I've seen
What
enough.
have you seen?
I've seen enough. I also have in the studios Glory Boateng. She's a media personality and also a law student. I put it to you. Pow, 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 pow. Glory, how we doing?
I'm good. Isn't it amazing how you're in shades? She's in shades.
You're in shades.
I'm in one. Girl, we are about to close our eyes and say it.
Oh, listen, I am with you. Like
Yes,
I
it
said,
is.
I have seen enough, okay? What my eyes have seen.
Shake it, shake it.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. But how are you ladies doing? How has your day been? What has been... You know, the Kardashians do this. I've seen them do it in a number of episodes. When they gather around a table for celebrations, food, dinner, they say, what has been the peak of your day and the pit of your day? So I'll go first. I guess the peak of my day was that I got to have a lovely lunch date with my beloved. And it was very, very... a very sweet date. The pit of my day is that I still don't have my vehicle back, so I am struggling, you know, with that. Hello, backroom, relax.
Hey,
Anyway, Miss Jude, what has been the peak and pit of your day?
I'm still trying to breathe what you
Unya
said.
Diana,
in.
dia botchas.
Hey.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
What has been the highlights of
I
your
thought
day
you
today?
broke up some few weeks ago.
Who and who?
Hey. Girls, they'll stain your black.
You've had a good day today? Talk to us.
I've had a good day. I think I've had a really good day. There hasn't been any pits in here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been good.
Oh, we love it.
I also had lunch, but not with my beloved.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was with friends.
I'm so sorry.
We had gist and all that. It was
All right,
fun.
we'll get well soon, I guess. Glory! What has been the highlight of your day? The peak and pit of your day? Highlight and lowlight.
Well, I also got to eat something I really was craving for.
Oh,
That
you said
was
someone
rice.
you were... something.
Something,
Oh,
girl.
my bad.
Girl.
My
I think
bad,
she's
my
here.
bad,
I'm
my bad.
today.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I took plain rice with palava sauce. I was craving for it, so I'm glad I got it.
You know, I eat rice and palava sauce almost every Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
They serve it here at the canteen.
Oh.
But today I wanted something a little bit more healthy because, believe it or not, it's quite sometimes a bit rich. The oil can take it from being a healthy dish to being not so healthy.
I agree.
So I think I'll start making it also on my own so I can moderate how much oil. That's really the way to go. If you want to know what's in your food, you have to cook it yourself.
I
If you're
like
really
it.
trying to be healthy and eat well, eat wholesome food, good ingredients that are not expiring or getting rotten, you have to cook at home. The
And with the
ingredients,
prices of tomatoes
yeah.
too.
So
You never
people I know, I'm very sure of it. I'm not using wholesome ingredients. That one I can bet my last city on it. So
Yeah,
trying to eat more at home. So you had a nice
I
lunch,
think
okay?
we should get a food brand for her to advertise because it looks like
Hey.
she loves food.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love
Yeah.
food?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and then you girls are my highlights.
Okay.
Because you look fly. I kept complimenting her hair.
Yeah, no, Miss Judy always
darling.
looks
Beautiful
fly.
hair right there. Shout out to AJ wherever she is as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, AJ, wherever you are. Women that are always put together, I envy so much. I don't have the. I don't give a hoot. I don't give a hoot. Bruh, it takes so much for me. I don't
To put on
care.
the makeup.
Oh.
Yeah.
They say looking good is good business.
Looking good is good business, honestly. And Miss Judy, I'm sure you can attest to it. Simply by virtue of the fact that you look good, I'm sure you get some extra business that comes your way. People probably trust you more with their business because the presentation is there. So the proof is in the pudding. But ladies, I've got a quick icebreaker for us all. Something for us to kind of munch on. It's a tweet that caught my attention this week. I thought it was quite interesting and I want to get your thoughts on it. So it's from a user on X, formerly Twitter. It says, I've seen you love me in quiet ways and loud ways, in grand gestures and in soft whispers of care. And on days I'm tempted to question your love, I'm quick to remember the quiet ways even before the loud ways. And so this is my question. What are some of the more quiet ways that you'd like to be loved and taken care of? And I'll put this into context. Women love romantic gestures, right? If you ask any girl what her maybe dream date is, it's something quite elaborate, roses, a very romantic dinner, candlelight, and all those things are great. But there are also very small, subtle things that somebody can do that lets you know that they really love you, they care for you. What are some of those things that are not so grand, but for you, when your loved ones do it for you, romantic or otherwise, you think, you know what, those are the quiet, small things that let me know that you have my back, you love me.
Yeah.
Gloria, I'll come to you. Something is coming to mind?
Yeah, I mean,
Talk to
I've
me.
got tons to share with you.
Ooh.
You ladies are not ready for me.
Okay.
I'm just going to make it brief.
Okay.
So, for me, act of service is my number one
Okay.
love language.
Okay.
No matter how little it is,
Okay.
just offer a helping hand. Maybe I'm carrying something, you want to help me carry it. You want to find out how's my day going. You know, I'm preparing for lectures or exam or, you know, anything at all. I'm planning on a donation. You want to find out how it's going. So act of services. And if I'm together with you, even if I'm in the kitchen, I want you to help.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's the little things for me. You know, you see me iron, you want to help iron, or you want to actually take it and iron.
Right.
You know, so it's the little things for me. And for me, those are some of the soft ways that you can demonstrate. And I love I love when a man is very tender.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like it. Gra, gra.
I see. Tender.
So maybe the streets may not be for me, but I love it quite gentle.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, how are you? Have you taken your lunch?
Okay.
You know,
those are the small ways, the small gestures
ways.
that show
so
that
it means
somebody-
that gifts could also be part of my love language.
Okay.
Because then I don't need you to only be asking, have I eaten? Maybe sometimes I get a call, okay, hi Glory, can you come to the reception? There's a delivery for you.
Yeah.
I get there, you know, and then it's lunch for me. So those little things.
Those little things. Miss Judy, what about you? What are some of the more quiet, less elaborate things that a lover or a loved one can do for you that lets you know that they're really into you?
I think she said most of it. Like
Okay.
showing love, you know, when I'm not in the mood, you know, you try to lighten up my day. You can, when you want to do something for me, you don't have to ask. You just have to offer what you want to do. So you want to get me something, there's no need asking me, oh, should I get you something? Why don't you just surprise me little ways?
Okay.
You know, but men, anyway. And then sometimes also, you know, those little kisses.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay, those little kisses
Yes.
also let you know it's
Those-
nothing grand.
Yeah,
but
little
it's-
touches, you know,
Hey.
admiring me.
Okay,
when,
she's
like,
married too.
Oh, it's allowed.
Oh, but
It's allowed.
she went for lunch.
I know.
Yes. Okay. Those are all very sweet things, and I think I agree. Sometimes it doesn't have to be elaborate. Something that that really touches my heart is if I enjoy a particular show, or there's something that a hobby or something that I'm enjoying, and the other person also takes a liking to that hobby or wants to get involved, or that show, they also want to watch it with me. They want to follow along. Sometimes we'll go and even watch all the other shows or the past seasons just to make sure that they catch up, and now we're in sync. So we're watching it together. I think that's like my ultimate. That's a small way that somebody can show me that Charlie, they're really, you know, interested in
This is
what
my first time
it is.
hearing something like that.
It's very
Like a
specific.
movie?
Like a show, like a running series.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's just my little example.
Shout out to your beloved. Though.
Shout out to my beloved. But in this economy, we are soliciting for more. So, yes, in due course, we'll announce what slots are opening up for August and September. Thank you for your cooperation. We'll get into our dilemma of the week. Because you guys, you keep us in business with your wahala, and this one is quite an intense one. Miss Judy, do you want to do us the honors for this one? It's our dilemma of the week, and hopefully you've also had a chance to get into it and give us your thoughts. If and when we have time towards the end of the show, we'll certainly open up our phone lines, and then you too can weigh in on our dilemma of the week.
Keeping it real. This is 3FM.
And do be sure to give us a follow on the socials. You can find us on Instagram. We're on Facebook, also on X, formerly Twitter, at 3FM 92.7. The hashtag we're using, it is keeping it real. All of your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions, even your questions, they're absolutely welcome. All right, without further ado, let's get into our wahalard of the week. Miss Judy, take us away. Story.
My mom is finally leaving my dad after
Hallelujah.
38 years of marriage. All this while, I didn't know that she was suffering in the marriage, and she stuck around for us. I saw my dad hit her from time to time, and I felt it was normal. I feel like I've let her down. I don't even know how to feel. I don't even know how I felt after the meeting that she called. She explained everything to us and how she sacrificed everything. And she's leaving because our last born got married 2 months ago, and everyone is grown up. I'm the first child, and I didn't know my mom was so sad and uncomfortable, and I feel like I failed her. What should I do, and how can I make it up to her? Dad kept begging her, and she has refused to eat. Everything is ruined, and I have to make a decision as the first child, especially since he's sick, and my mom was the major caretaker. She had him one already, though, but what should I do to my mom, who is hurting, and desperate dad? After everything she said at the meeting, I'll be stupid to try to convince her to stay, especially since she put her life on hold for us. And she feels like her job is done, and she's finally free, and she can focus on herself now. She has everything prepared already. Please, how can I show her that I love her?
This man is a gangster.
So after, 38 years, she says, of marriage, they have thrown in the towel. Some might say, I mean, if you've done 38, you can do 38 more. And really, where else is there to go?
38 years to do more.
38. 38 to do more. Ladies, I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm very, very eager. And then I'll weigh in because, I have some thoughts about this. I mean, 38 years.
Yeah.
Do the women who are in a mother's category, do they actually walk away? Is that something that happens? I mean, I don't know. Does it happen? Is this novel?
Man is a gangster.
What are we thinking? Talk to me.
I think the world has changed, and sometimes we hold on to life because of the kids.
Right.
So once they are done, you really want to move on. Years ago, I think when I was 6 years in marriage or something, I joined a counseling group. So a lady thought I give good advice, so she added me to a group.
Okay.
And that was when I realized that marriage is not all that it seems. I actually stopped because it makes you feel like your marriage is the best, even if it's not that well, because you hear so many bad stories and you're like, wow.
Well, people are really living in some terrible situations.
Terrible situations. I remember a lady posting like an almost naked picture on the page, and she asking if we think there's anything wrong with her because the husband doesn't touch her, he doesn't talk to her or anything. And I was like, people are really going through things. So sometimes I try to understand when people divorce or after years and a woman just decides to leave and you don't understand. This is a woman who was beaten, and she actually managed to stay because of the kids. And that is what most women do. They stay just because of the kids and manage to, when he goes to secondary school, maybe my life will be better. Or maybe when he gets married, my life will be better. But the man is still there.
Got it.
You end up hating the life you have. And, you know, you go out, you go back home, and you are drained. There's nothing to live for. Because the person you are looking at is not someone you want to see, someone you're in love with. So it's like, it's a total mess. I understand her to an extent because you feel like your entire life has been wasted.
Yeah.
Now you have a chance to try to make up for the fun and all that you missed throughout your life. The man is not someone you want to take care of during his olden age. You've looked after him all his years. Now you feel like this is your time to live. So yeah, I think sometimes you just
in your time when you were in that counseling group, listening to all of these married couples going through their issues, what was that one issue that a lot of women had? If there was a common denominator or a common theme that ran through their stories, what were these married women really going through? Or was it so different? Was something a common denominator?
I think most of them were bored in the marriage.
Really?
Yes. Most of them were bored. The men kind of think that once you have kids and you're taking care of the kids, that's your work. So there's no fun. They don't take you out. You are just there. So for someone who is maybe working, you go to work, you come back home, and that's just it. You are cooking, work, home, cooking, kids. And there's nothing to live for aside that. So with time, you are bored. And there's nothing like entertaining you.
Got it.
So it's like they're just bored. The men feel that's
after
your life.
election, no campaign.
No campaign. That's your life, and you should be okay with it. Or you are supposed to make yourself happy. Your happiness do not depend on them. So you are just there.
That's something that we can definitely revisit as we broaden the conversation. But Glory, what are your thoughts after such a long time in a situation? Is it worth? Is it really that she's maybe going out and searching, or just to be free from this particular situation?
Thank you very much. This story goes to tell us how resilient women can be in the face of adversity. So if you're the type, or if you're a man and you're always looking for, if you're just saying, oh, my wife cooks for me, my wife laughs with me, my wife plays with me, my wife follows me for family meetings, so I am good, regardless of the fact that there's been some trait about you that she's complained about, but you think because she's always doing the do, she will let you have sex with her, she would cook, she would take care of the family, she would honor you in public and at home. Because if you read the story, she said that even when the father was sick, it was the woman that was caring for him. So you can imagine a woman who is wounded within but can nurture a man in his sick bed. That is how strong women are. But it is also dangerous when your wife is unable to tell you exactly how she feels, or if you are the type that if she tells you how she feels, you do not take it seriously. Because in those days, 38 years ago that's 90s, right? So in those days, marriage alone in itself was a legacy.
That would have been like 1986 thereabouts. She got married.
To be married alone was a legacy. It's a big deal that you are wearing the ring, girl. That is the greatest achievement of womanhood. But in our time, a good marriage rather may be a legacy. So it's not just about marrying. And in those days or in those kind of period, I used to hear how mothers would live in marriage because they want to see their children rise. They don't want to leave because, number one, if they are leaving, there's another woman waiting, or there's a second or third or fourth or fifth wife. So they need to stay in the marriage to be able to, garner a good place for their children. Because if they leave whilst their children are tender, they're not going to get anything. And that is what happened. And the woman is now seeing that, now my firstborn is married. The last one just got married 2 months ago. whatever I want to do now, I can do it, because for all you know, the children sends her good money every month and she is good. Probably when she was in marriage, she wasn't working. For the storyteller or for the story writer to have told us that there were periods where the man would beat the mother and she thought it was normal. You can imagine, it means that this man probably wasn't a listening man. No one could talk about his matter. The woman just endured, knowing that just one day, if I can just endure one day, my freedom would come. And her freedom ticket was the well-being of her children. And that is what we are experiencing. So if today you are in a marriage and your wife is not able to complain, she has complained once, twice, thrice, and because she doesn't work or she didn't go to school, if she leaves today, she will be homeless with the kids and she's enduring, it is dangerous for you. Because for men, at the latter part of the marriage, what benefits them is that the woman is able to stay with them and even help them cook and take care of them in terms of food and all of those things, because in our cultural settings, a lot of men don't know how to cook. So once you grow and there's no woman to help you in these kind of ways, you'll be miserable, because number one, your children are married, they've left the home.
And sometimes you find that in some households, once everybody has left, nobody wants to deal with daddy. Because when we were living in daddy's house, daddy was a tyrant. We were all waiting just to leave daddy's house.
You couldn't talk about daddy's matter. Daddy's words were final. Mommy couldn't say it, no one. So everyone was praying for the day we'll go to become wealthy, and that is it.
So that we can leave daddy's home.
Leave daddy's home.
But it does not make you feel sorry for daddy, because in this instance, this young lady, I suppose, is saying that, well, the dad is not feeling so well. The mama has endured all these years by his side, and she's the primary caregiver. Do you have any pity on this guy, even though his past behavior hasn't been, the best in terms of hitting her and so on and so forth, all the undesirable things that he's been doing to her? Yeah. Do you feel sorry for him? Should women just endure with the men towards the end? Because really, marriage is, like you said, a big benefit for men. If this lady should go, he has to go and get a caregiver, or at least go and find another lady who is going to help him. Maybe he's not as young and vibrant as he used to be. It could be a really sorry end for him. Even if you get a caregiver, it'll never be like the same love and affection your wife and kids will give you, the way they'll take care of you and pamper you. So does that make you want to change the advice that you give to this older woman? So just sit by it.
That's why when you're married, treat your partner well. In the olden days, marriage, as she said, was a crown. Right. Like, you are supposed to make your home work. Those are the people they call strong women. Once you've gone through the pain, the suffering with a man, and you come out still loving him, that's the only time they call you as a strong woman. Right?
When you have endured some cheating scandals,
exactly.
Maybe an outside baby,
yeah,
and then they'll tell you on their wedding anniversary, trials and tribulations. And one said, the guy they cheats. That be the trials, that be the tribulations. The guy they cheats, pass.
And also, people didn't want to marry from broken homes. So women would basically sacrifice to stay there just for all that, for their kids to get married and want to leave. I would pity the man, but she also needs to have a life. The bottom line is, you are old. Old age comes with, especially women, when you get to your 40s, premenopausal symptoms, you're having body pains here and there. Everything is just bad. So her problem, basically, she's going to go through worse. High blood pressure. Just seeing the man is going to give you so much pain. But yes, the man deserves pity, but if he has lived a good life, obviously the woman would have stayed by his side.
So, Gloria, what about you? Does that make you feel sorry for him? I mean, I don't particularly, but I'm just trying to see whether, we can put a case for this gentleman. Especially the kid factor, I understand. Like you said, with the finances, the way our economy is set up, the way society is set up, maybe she's out of work. It might not be the most strategic time to leave when the kids are young, if you want to secure their education and future. That would be the only reason why I would advocate that somebody take their time and find their strategic exiting. But no, I wouldn't countenance nonsense. But I'm just figuring out whether you think she should take that into consideration. He's old, he needs help, he's not so well.
So I understand where the child is coming from, and I would feel sorry because, for the child to have said that when dad used to beat mom, I thought it was normal. Yeah. Some men can treat their kids very well, but maltreat their wives.
Is that possible.
It is. So
You treat the kids well, but you don't treat their mother well.
because he knows his kids,
think
the
that's
kids are probably his asset. You know, the society has been nurtured in a way where the man knows that when he grows old, it's the kids that would, in fact, the kids are his future investments. So he wouldn't want to treat the kids anyhow. But then culture also has systematically programmed things not to suit men in a way that woman, you're supposed to keep quiet. Oba, oba, namadi, oba. So those kind of oba de, so there's a lot of hysterical ideologies about marriage from our forefathers, and we may not want to blame this man because for all you know, number one, we learn things from history, we learn things from things we see and all of that. What his father did is probably what he has grown out of.
But now say, as somebody who say, Sebe, any be
Abba.
how long are you going to be stuck in the? Then whenever I break the cycle, when my father is
My darling, the mind, it is very difficult for the mind to unlearn what it's learned. So the child feels sorry for the dad because for the child, that's my dad. That is my father, and they stayed in the house together. And for the children to be in a position where successfully they've been married out of the family, one way or the other, the man should have done something right. So for the kids, it looks good. But the mother also at that point weren't explaining so much to the kids, even when they were young or when they were growing. So they didn't even have a lot of bad impressions about men. The woman covered things up. The woman would praise the father in front of the kids.
Sometimes it's mommy that's even paying the school fees.
But she
You will
won't
never
say
know.
it. She wouldn't say, she's applying wisdom. So for the daughter or for the son, that is a super father right there. And there's only one father in this world. No matter who adopts you or whatever, or adopts you, sorry, your father is one. So the child feels sorry because at this point, who is going to take care of that the way mommy does it? But I also need the woman to understand that there's something about forgiveness that brings healing to the soul. Listen, far from she wanting to leave her husband's house, she needs to get to a place where she has forgiven the man.
Does it mean to forgive and stay, or just forgive and move on?
A lot would depend on her right now. But for me, at this juncture, the man being being bed stricken and all of that, I would stay with him.
You
Because
would
now
stay?
I would.
Wait for
I'm
him to
coming.
die.
because at this point he doesn't even have a hand to throw anything. And now in the marriage, all I was praying was that, you know what, one day when the kids are gone, I'll leave. But now kids are begging me. My husband, my bully husband is begging me. So I would want to consider so many things. Consider the interest of the kids. I may want to probably live outside of the home, but I probably would not neglect the man entirely. Like you said, if you're able to do 38 years, why not try the next 38 years? But definitely, I'm going to feel sorry for the father. And for the child, I would say that she should talk to her mother to find out the things that the mother wanted to do when she was young. Is it seamstress or fashion designing, teaching? Whatever she wanted to do, she should find out and start bringing resources together so that they can make that a reality for her. Once she finds fulfillment, she may be in a place to want to listen to the advice to forgive the father, because now that is bed stricken, he doesn't even have strength to bully you again, and he's even apologizing that forgive me. And now it is said that he's not even 18, and once he's not 18, he'll be dying soon.
Very soon.
He'll be dying
But
soon.
you know, one
Oh,
of
boy.
the things that I'm happy about, that she spoke about the beating, because once the kids found it normal, should their husband start that same thing, they will feel it's normal because their mother endured it and they're also going to endure it, and it goes on. So yes, as you said, she should have spoken to the kids maybe before they got married to know that, oh, this is how your father treated me and it's not right. This is the right way that love should go. I've always said that if you want to show your partner that you love her or him, show it in front of the kids, because they are learning every little thing from you. And once they don't feel what love is, that is what they are learning. That's how they're going to transcend to another person.
And they learn from what they see than what they hear.
So basically, now the kids have also learned something that it's not right. Should it be that the woman also kind of insulted the husband? That is what they've learned. So that's basically something that's not right that dad has taught them.
Well, time check, it is some 22 minutes.
Keeping it real.
To the top of the hour, 8 p.m. You're still live here on Keeping It Real on 3FM 92.7. We're back again, slicing and dicing your dilemmas.
One day you will know. These are the words of my mother.
We'll be making way for you to also weigh in on this particular subject.
I'm going back home.
If you're watching us on Facebook Live, shout out to you. Let's hear all of your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions. They're absolutely welcome.
This man is a gangster who come bound to boxer.
Keeping it real, this is 3FM 92.7.
Of your comments on the socials. But ladies, quickly before we plug in with the people, I mean, the numbers tell us that more and more people have decided or are deciding to leave their marriages. Some legal experts will tell you just as many men as women are actually filing for divorce or looking to be divorced. I think in the year 2021 alone, some almost 1 million Ghanaians filed for divorce or were officially separated. Glory, you are surprised. Most stressing, Ebony said it best. I hate you so much right now. That is what our courthouses are having to contend with. Exactly so. And so we know that these days, especially women, they're not shy to walk away from relationships that no longer serve them. Women are now more, financially buoyant, sometimes even more so than their male counterparts. For some women, once they've had their kid, it doesn't matter if their kid is 2 weeks old, they say, peace out, see you later, au revoir. See you, bye, bye.
Later.
I mean, we live in communities now, at least virtual communities. If you want support, there's another mommy across even the pond or the world that can give you that kind of solace that you are seeking. Also, for a lot of women and men, I'm telling you, they said they want to build communities, and women just live together, share their work together, raise their children. They don't really, I don't know, you are not trying. You are not trying. But I mean, that aside, what do you think is accounting for the fact that a lot more women, Ghanaian women, and I say that with emphasis because we know what it's like in our part of the world. By the way, a small digression, I remember being young and my mom had one friend that was divorced. And I remember, there were whispers about her because it was such a big deal. Like, she was divorced, And I remember I was, I was very picture child. I'm sure you can believe that. So I was always in grown people's business. I remember this lady called the house. She used to make cakes. She called the house one day, and I couldn't have been more than like 9 years old. I said, why are you divorced?
Oh my days.
And I remember at the time, the lady that used to sew with my mom, she was in the house. So it was just me and her, and she was shocked. She said, hey, why did you do it? Come on. What the hell, man? What the hell? Would you say that? I mean, she was flabbergasted, but I was very curious because I was like, what is this big thing about divorce? That my mom's paddy is divorced, and everyone is like, oh my God, it was such a big thing. I had to go to the source. Hence, now we're journalists, so it's normal. We're going straight to the source. Straight to the source, okay? No only believe, laba. I can't remember what she said, but she was quite gracious about it. She was a very progressive lady. Given her circumstances at the time, I think she just said, it wasn't working out, or we weren't working well as man and wife, something quite simple like that. But fast forward today, I mean, I'm sure you all know several ladies who are no longer wearing their rings. Maybe they've even moved on. What is accounting for that, really and truly, Miss Judy?
I think freedom. Most people want their freedom. And we don't prepare so much for marriage. It's one of the things, that's one of the things that I feel we should be trained for. Living with somebody you've never lived with.
Our
with
mothers and fathers, they never lived together.
Some endured. Some endured a lot. But we are not willing to endure. We want our freedom. We want to... We are also providing. Those days, the women somehow depended on the men.
That's right.
Right now, you don't depend on them.
So it's not, I'm not going to feed, clothe, house myself for you to come and be messing me around.
Work hard and enjoy life. Men are not also afraid to marry divorced women. So you know that when you leave, that's not your end. You can still find love somewhere.
A few of my friends said this year's batch of divorcees, they don't like the spec. They wait for next year's batch, class of 2025.
They claim it's greener at the other side. So
they said this class of 2024 divorcee, but when they check the list, it's not so great. They'll wait for those coming next year and make their move. Honestly, because after a certain age, you meet a lot of people that have been in long-term relationships. A lot of them have kids. Once you get to your 30s, that's just what the dating landscape is like. If you are not married, many people are, again, divorcees and so on and so forth. Glory, you share in that sentiment that it's the enlightenment, it's the progressiveness that has changed things.
Yeah. And I just would like to quote a thing from the Bible. It says, lack of knowledge, my people perish. Where there's lack of no one can give you what they don't have.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. So when knowledge abounds, people would always want to make things better for themselves. Yes, the same Bible says knowledge puffs. But where knowledge abounds, so if at that time, where women were just in the kitchen, we were, at the back bench, if you talk too much, you'll be silenced and all of those things. Things have changed. And in an economy, in a world where a lot of things have been revolutionized, if you are a man and you are marrying, you need to be a listening man. You need to be a man who listens. You need to be a man who is inclusive. You don't need to necessarily flow with the culture. Build a culture with you and your wife. What language suits the both of you the most? If chalk is going to be called cupboard in your home and there will be peace, let chalk be called cupboard. Because at the end of the day, you are supposed to satisfy each other's interests. No one is here to massage your ego per se. I'm speaking for both the wives and then their husbands. So both of them, it cuts across. The husband may not necessarily be ready to massage your ego if you don't listen. Neither would the wife be ready to massage your ego if you also don't listen. So if marriages want to thrive and do well, we both in our corporate world endure. We go by we go by what compliance has issued. Why is it that in marriage we don't want to agree that this and that works for us, and consistently we want to breach things and do things in our interest and find scriptures and find culture to back it? What you love, you will go any length for it. Love suffers long. Love listens. Love shares. Love forgives. So we should adapt this inclusiveness, this thing about sharing, this thing about being kind, this thing about being compassionate, and forget about what culture is saying. If culture helped or would have helped, it would have helped a long time ago. Culture didn't help in a lot of ways. But now, if you are married, be a listening man. I think that one thing that collapses marriages in our time is because everyone is coming in with their ideology. There is no two or three of people standing together to say that it is not about my ideology, it is not about your ideology. Let's talk together to find a middle ground. Let's work this together. If it works for you and me, if carrying your handbag in public would prove to you that I love you, I will do it for you. If scrubbing the washroom in the house would prove to you that I love you, I'll do it for you. So for husbands and wives, we should be willing to do.
I thought you add one more to it for us. If washing my underwear will prove to you,
but culture will say don't do it.
That's right.
But but that may be your wife's love language, but culture may tell you that don't do it. But your wife washes your boxer shorts anyway.
That's
so
right.
who cares? What is culture? Someone sat there somewhere in a village under trees, crafted things to suit their ego. But ask yourself, to what extent has culture helped you? And there are a lot of scriptures in the Bible that some of these people sat and they said it contextually. They said it's based on prevailing circumstances. That is why the ultimate fundamental go-to place is the words of Jesus Christ. That will says that he will say that love suffers long, love endures, it easily forgives. A lot of times they will not refer to that one. They'll go and refer to the other one. Wife, submit, husband, do this, that. But then there's even all of that scripture is in the 1 Corinthians chapter 13. So I feel like marriage is for
Glory,
you.
your rice and palava sauce was anointed. It was anointed.
Marriage is for two people, honey. It's not about the third party. It's not about the fourth party. But unfortunately, if you get one that wants to go their way all the time, because I know some husbands who are amazing, but their wives are stubborn, and once that happens, they can do little about it. If one feels too burdened, it will be too much for them to carry. So we have to share the work and share the reward. If you are a wife, submit to your husband. Listen to your husband. If your husband love your wife, if you love your wife, you even submit more than her, because love will show you shaggy. Because of love, you cannot do so many things.
That's true.
So I'm saying that marriage is for two people. It is not even about what your counselor is saying at the end of the day. It is for you and then the other party. If it suits you that you share your salary 50-50 or 80-20 or 90-10 or 100%, your wife's money is her money, husband's money is for us, and it works for the two of you. Do it. It's not about other people.
Do what works for you.
I think pastors or men of God have over-preached the submissiveness. That men don't know that they are supposed to love. They feel like the women are supposed to be submissive. So we enter marriage. Once the woman talks back, he's angry. He's willing to work out. He's willing to go and look for a side piece because you've been disrespectful. But we all forget that the Bible said, love your wife as God loved, like as you love the church.
That's even more deep.
And the wife would automatically submit to you. There's no normal woman who will not submit to a loving husband.
Yeah.
But we all forget that. So we want the submissiveness to come before we love the person.
And that is not the way that it works.
No.
And you ladies are spot on. A lot of women will tell you that once you are being treated well, there really is nothing is too much to ask. And I can testify to that. If you are being treated well, nothing is too complex to cook. You want to eat, what is it?
At midnight.
At midnight. Oh, look, no sofa. No sofa.
When a good girl gone bad, what you gonna do?
There's always a limit, please, Judy. You know I'm not about to do all of that. Time check, it is some 10 minutes to the top of the hour. We're going to get into your comments right about now. And do keep them coming on the socials. You can find us on X, formerly Twitter. We're also on Instagram and on Facebook. The hashtag we're using, it is keeping it real. Another day, another wahalerd. Miss Judy, what are they saying to us on the socials?
Okay.
Are people waiting for the 2025 batch of
So Nati says,
divorcees?
so your mom is leaving daddy at a critical moment when he's on his sick bed. Since she has endured for blah, blah, blah years, she should finish hard. I guess long suffering is a gift of the spirit.
Yeah.
Wow. You see how men are? Men will kill you and ask you, are you breathing? All right.
Goes like, Brenda, some of our mothers experience what we are experiencing now, but the difference is they endured the treatment. Yeah, my dear, allow her to go because your dad never see the good side of her, so he's on his sick bed. Esther, brother, leave your mom alone. Why? Sometimes in marriage, the man treats you as if you are not human being. They will even sell you to your enemies to mock you. Brother, give some chilled Coke and cool her heart first before you continue. She's a good mom. Believe she deserves her happiness. Derry, please allow her for now and make sure she's very happy, whatever she's moving to, so that she can heal. May God heal her and manage the situation. It's a lot.
All right. open up the phone lines right about now so that you too can weigh in on this dilemma. Would you advise your mom after almost 40 years of marriage to walk away from a situation, especially after she's told you it's been almost 4 decades of not a very good time? 0559 242 717. That's 0559 242 717. What is accounting for the high divorce rates? Why are women walking away so much easier now these days? You can also reach us on 0556 910 154. That's 0556 910 154. Phone lines are already blinking. Hello, good evening.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening. Who's speaking? Where are you calling us from?
Nana.
Nana, it's a saying. A comdo, Ade. And now did you?
Not really. Been
Why?
moving around.
You've been waiting for me.
No, I'm not waiting for you. Yeah.
All right, Nana, you have the floor. Let's hear you, please.
Okay. So you see, for a very long time, this thing is very close to me because I've witnessed 2 of my aunties go through the same thing. It's just that for them, the only difference is they didn't wait for the children to grow. They left when they had to because it was too much. See, these vows that we say and this quote that we tend to use in the Bible, it's always been subjected to individual interpretation, and sometimes we abuse them and use them as yardstick for people to endure a lot of nonsense. You see, I always say that I don't know whether I'll get married or not, but if I do, I'm saying my own vows. I'm not repeating anything after anybody.
You write it yourself.
I'm not even writing anything. I'll
Freestyle.
Yes, I'll say what I'm feeling at that moment. I'm not writing anything. I'm not saying anything after anybody. That thing they've been making, those of them who are, everybody is saying the same thing. You see, it sounds nice, but is it coming from you?
So Nana, all that they say for better, for worse, and sickness and in health, those are meaningful vows, till death do us part, and so on and so forth.
That is where I'm coming, for better, for worse. You see, for better, for worse does not include abuse in any form, be it physical or emotional, name them. For better, for worse does not include either of them. For better, for worse does not include infidelity. It doesn't include that. For better, for worse does not include red flags. We should get this straight. So you know that when you do this, it cuts me deep. You go there, you poke me, you mess me up, and after you tell me for better, for worse, what are we talking about? Maybe we should start re-looking at some of these things. So yes, it's nice. We say them all. But does it include all of these things? For better, for worse? So you should use me as a punching bar. Is that what we mean when we say worse?
I get your point, Nana.
You get where I'm coming from.
I get where you're coming from. Do you agree with Glory that people should tailor their marriages to what suits them as individuals, as a unit?
100%. Look, I don't subscribe to the usual norm of how they say a marriage should be. Look, we are even siblings, or siblings that you come from same family. You are not the same.
That's right.
How much more going to find somebody you don't know from anywhere you are trying to get to know? So when you find a partner and you settle down, do what works for your marriage, not what you are told is supposed to be. Because this thing has no formula. See, my dad cooked. I don't know what my dad cannot do in the kitchen.
I see.
And I can tell you that you remember how many times people were saying that he shouldn't do that because it's went for my mom. And he never subscribed to that idea. Because of my dad, me, today, I don't know what I can do in the kitchen.
Wow.
And I know that if I'm getting married today, I'm not getting married because I want a woman who will come and cook and clean for me. Because I can do that on my own.
Absolutely.
It's the same way I know that if I want a woman that I'm settling, we are not going to be someone who's not working. In fact,
You definitely partner with somebody who can bring something to the
it
house.
has to make sense. Do you understand?
I'm with you,
do
Nana.
I always say this: do what works for
you.
in your marriage.
Absolutely.
That is the way to go.
Absolutely. Nana, thank you so much. One of these days, you have to come to the studio, pay us a visit, and then you can have your nuggets all throughout the show. We appreciate you. We'll park it for the phone calls right about now. But ladies, we're wrapping up on this one. I think the verdict is out. I think most people are, I guess, agreeing with the stance that this woman should, move on. She still has life to live. I think we have one more call, and then we'll end today's show. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Who am I speaking with, please?
Yes, my name is Benjamin.
Hi, Benjamin.
From Mataheko.
What is Mataheko saying tonight? Everything cool?
Well, everything is cool so far.
Okay.
I just had to go for a stroll a little bit.
You had a what?
I just had to go for a stroll a little bit.
Oh, for a stroll a little bit. Ay, wow, Lou. On Mataheko. All right, I only have a minute for you. Let us know. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Oh, well, to tell you the truth, I'm a little bit about 30 and planning to settle down probably when everything works out.
Sure.
And my parents and I have been married for like 37, 38 years now, and they're still together. I would say it's been ups and downs, There've been ups, there's been downs and everything. But, the only thing I'll say is marriage is definitely for better and for worse. So what my brother just said is...
Nana, you have somebody disagreeing
vows,
with you here.
Yeah, even if you use your own vows, there will be bad times and good times.
Absolutely. So you still believe in for better or for worse. Thank you for that call. We'll park it here for the calls. Only a minute to go until we're saying goodbye to you all. And what an episode it has been. So I was saying, ladies, in general, I think the consensus is that this lady should do what makes her happy. And as we transition out of that old way of thinking that to endure, to suffer for, months and years is a badge of honor, it's not right. A lot of women even lose their lives in marriages because of that thinking, because of that indoctrination. But a minute to go, ladies. Final thoughts, and we'll wrap it up on this dilemma. What plans do you have after this? Are you going to bed?
I'm going home.
Well, you didn't say to bed. You said home. Glory, what about you? You going to bed? You're going home. As for what happens, that's none of my business, isn't it? Certainly. That's all right.
Good girl gone bad. What you gonna do?
It's always a pleasure coming your way at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday evening. This has been Keeping It Real. Do stay safe. Next week, of course, we're back with more Wahala. You keep us very, very busy. Do keep your thoughts coming even after the show. You can find us on the socials. We are at 3FM 92.7. It's been Helen, Miss Judy, and Glory. You already know the drill. God might not be done with you, but we what? We are. We'll see you next week.
When a good girl gone bad.
This
What
is
you
3FM 92.7.
Run, go meet a dad. You don't wanna do. When this is how this all.
Accra gets busy on this frequency. 92.7.